will keep blowing up. Let's close the window, 'cause I like to shout and boo when I'm home alone. Did anyone else know? Who is the daddy? Who is the daddy? Oh, we got plenty of drag queens and cosplay people. I ain't trying to put on no bead now, 'cause I am one of those that like to go. Do you like to keep up it up? Well, look what I did. Camera ain't jank, is it? Ooh, 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 ooh. Keep that air a mystery. Fuck it. It's a dog. It's a dog. It's a dog. I am one of those. You're all to go. Hello, people. Thank you for joining me. Laura Rickner, that's Lars the Dancier. And if you don't know, get to know, because it might teach you something. Might teach you something. Might teach you something. Oh, yeah. I apologise for the quality of my camera on my current piece of kit. Unfortunately, one looking at a person that the UK Met Police like to systematically abuse every time I'm out drunk and like to steal my property in the form of 2 phones now. And though, like, I've learned a lot about the Law Society via these experiences, because quite frankly, they couldn't give a fuck. They couldn't give a fuck. They don't duly process you, they don't take your fingerprints, they don't take your picture, so they're just threatening and intimidating you. Moving bail dates around, the last one I turned up to, they weren't even fucking there, so they leave you wanted on the system and keep fucking with you and kicking you around. The school of hard knocks. Well, I say today, fuck off! Yeah. Have you all been there? Have we all been there? Now, I thought I'd jump on just to have a little chat about things, because there's a lot of people talking about awakenings and things. Awakenings, awakening. Wake to aloe vera. The cleansing biological plant to grow plenty everywhere. Clean out your guts. Anyway, getting back to things. People we know, friends we meet. We sit on the street, we might have a drink. I wish nothing but the best in their happiness. Really poor quality camera, isn't it? With the filter on anyway. Anybody that wants to sponsor Laura getting new equipment for her epic mission of making a social worker charity franchise enterprise on wheels with novelty donation points and advertising space, can donate at Laura Rickner on Facebook, where you will find a GoFundMe, which is attempting to raise a lot of money for this project and to get a good defence lawyer should I need to protect myself from those pansies that clearly must be intimidated by my monumental visionary skills and abilities to enhance the community for the lower and working and middle class across the board, where no more systematic injustice can take place because you'll be making your own media content as you go along. If you want an example of that, there was a woman on here I just come across, And she's like, I'm out on the street, I'm sleeping out rough. And I suppose TikTok is an example of an intranet. It's an app, but it's an intranet. People are hooked up. And you can feel, like, imagine there was an engineer out there on wheels, funding shit, linking up all the charities, like the Big Issue spare room scheme and shit, and all the hostels that take in people and do MVQs and shit. It'd be banging, wouldn't it? It'd be banging. Make the middle ground between the NHS and Bupa as well. Are you seeing what I'm seeing now? Is it all falling into place? Decade in the making. So yeah, Laura's emergency funds on my Facebook because I need a good defence lawyer because I'm under attack from pigs, left, right, centre. Keep leaving me on wanted status. I went to the fun fair and I hit 7 down in a row. Pull, 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 pull. Like with my first bucks spent, and it's like you need 7 to get an airsoft. You know, one of those replica shooters. And I was like, yeah, I really want one of them. I've always wanted one of them. Really wanted one of them. But in a place like London, you'd be scared to get that. I was like, should I get it? Should I get that? God, sort of 2 fucking pansy Rubik's Cubes for my cousin's kids instead. But I was quite pissed off with that, because I would have liked one of them. For purposes of next time someone don't serve you in a pub, you can just be like, you know what? Fucking... Because I swear, like, in London, total discrimination. You go into pubs that you've been drinking in since 3 years old, and all of a sudden... you're not serving you, and you're like, are they linked up via banking networks? Because people talk about awakenings and shit like that, but it's fucking hell on earth outside my fucking doorstep a lot of the time in like London, when it comes to establishments anyway, where there's sort of like authorities or people ability to manipulate or abuse. It's like someone goes relentless. It's really pointless. It's like scared to travel, scared to go anywhere in case someone wanted system. Got arrested at Venice airport. Come back from Venice last year. Arrested in Bournemouth the other week on the 1st of August. Didn't even process me properly. Spent 24 hours in the cell down there. 24 hours. Oh yeah, Jesus Christ. I don't want to be Jesus Christ, and that's what I'm coming to the conclusion. The people that are Christian children are experiencing hell on earth or some shit. Because their perceived role model got fucked up, right? He got really royally fucked up by some sort of status quo. As much stuff as I'm listening to on TikTok about people elevating out to the 5th dimension and leaving their old version of events behind during this crisis and climate change, it's not going to fucking happen if you got mugs out with bow dates. Like, what, have I got to put on a beard and walk around in a constant disguise every time I go out the door? Do you know what I mean? Some horse shit, some bullshit, and then it's like you can't get legal aid. You got a duty solicitor that basically is invested in your downfall. They don't give a fuck. And then you're like, why should I say I understand in a fucking interview? I've been locked in the cell for 48 hours, and you're telling me it's because of a birthday card. I think it might be something to do with a van, but that was police controlled collision. That was their fault. Fucking why are you hounding me for county court shit? For literally a Toyota, the same make and reg as my Mercedes van, which I got 400 from fucking Philip Schofield jank site, We Buy Any, and it had a bed in the back and a sound system. I got 400 quid, and these muppets that I didn't even damage anything on it, they literally just shot up and used me in that situation just to touch me, and I was like, I didn't feel nothing. Did you feel nothing? They're trying to get like it was £3,000, and now it's gone down to £2,000, and it disappeared for 2 years, and now it's come back through my post box, and it's like county court shit. And if that's what it's all about, there's something weird going on in the world. Not quite sure. I've got a finger on what's going on, but it fucking sucks. Pretty sick of it. Don't get to the age of friggin' 40, still be struggling, putting up with little fascist creeps all crawling in all of a sudden, trying to fucking demoralise you. Tell you what? 60 hours. 60 hours. Anybody know a good lawyer that can actually does invest in people and fucking justice? 60 hours for sending a letter during COVID. She should be done for wasting police time, the woman. And a birthday card. And they said, oh, you were wanted by the Met Police. I said, bollocks, you've left that on the system. That's a gross misconduct and a mistake. And I think that is what happened. Because it was like I was in the cell 36 hours in there, and it's like peers through the window, this knobby, preppy looking twat that's apparently running their investigation says, do you know anything about a birthday card? I was like, you are for fucking real. You're telling me that justifies 2 days in a cell. It wasn't that, it was because it was probably gross negligence leaving it on the system from last year. But either way, it's like compensation is needed. now, and like I feel like the whole universe has gone dead or something. Nobody actually responds to anything or gives a fuck. It's weird. GT Stewart, all the solicitors. Talk to the solicitors. No, no, no. So yeah, help, that's good. Do you have the time to listen to me whine about everything and nothing all at once? I'm one of those. Actually, realistic to the core. I'm a very realistic person. Just totally fucking 100% realistic. And what I can't help but notice is like more and more authorities like to try and discriminate. Obviously, Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter! Oh my god, Black Lives, they matter so much, man. But you know what also matters? Lawyers sorted it out. No, haven't yet, no. Life is a beach. But what I was going to sit and chat here about, actually, I was going to sit and chat, you know. I was going to chat about is the fact that I've met on my travels and my journeys, like three individual men. They're they sound as fuck. There's nothing wrong with them. But in the 90s, was it, or the 80s, they deregulated weed for a decade or some shit. I don't know. But they opened these coffee shops in like New Cross and certain areas. And a lot of the musical people and cats, you know, they have their be smoking their weed more and be of that culture. Obviously, when they deregulated it and made it a Class A again, what you got there is a whole demographic of fucked up people. Because they've all become a little bit more liberated, a little bit more free, probably let their taxes go and think, fuck it, you know, because they're rising, let's be honest about this, rising out of the 5D stuff. It's the state of world stuff. It's because people are doing MD, acid, probably hallucinogens and drugs. I'm just a realist. I think that's what it is, quite a lot of it. And it's like these guys, a lot of people that I was meeting of a certain demographic, they were just kicked about. They were just abused citizens as a result of that because they're vulnerable. It's like alcohol's a vulnerable adults out and about drinking. I've only ever been arrested like just lone woman, targeted, harassed and intimidated, and just arrested by police when you're a lone woman and had a drink. And then they got the audacity to try and criminalise you for it. It's like, fuck off. And it's the same with the people that used to smoke the weed. It's like, all they do to those musicians and those older men that used to have a spliff or a drink and whatever, then they're just vulnerable adults. They get kicked down this route, that route, debt route, and then put in mental health system routes. Sort of people, poor bastards, that have been held down and jabbed against their will. And it's like, I felt those vibes all around this whole COVID bollocks. Like people being under scrutiny, and I think they're using like the internet for that. I think they're scrutinising people on social media, because I do feel like my social media is totally fucked. I don't feel like there's any, like I the other day started a fundraiser to help myself, and the only people that got me kicked off it were my supposed peers, you know, those twats that sit around film sets like the extras, you know, like Ricky Gervais, like them people, those little backbiting crew. And then they just basically reported me for posting that. He said, oh, you might as well be a tramp begging at a car window in India. I was like, oh my god. I was like, what a mardy little twat. Please say I don't have to ever work with the likes of you again. And then I got barred for that. He's just called me a beggar, blah blah, ripped the shit out of me, him and his colleague. I get banned for a week. Resume live. Do you think I'm being monitored? When you start bad-mouthing TikTok's peers. Unstable connection. I mean, what does that mean as well? Because, yeah. Da, da, da. Can you like yourself if no one's tapping? Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can go and love yourself like a Bieber song. Woo. Yeah, you can go and love yourself. Yes, it's good. Thanks for the education, Bieber. Yeah, it's all crap. More likes can attract more viewers, so keep it up. Keep what up? The real talk? Because there's a lack of that about.